I pulled into the driveway at 6:47 p.m., carrying about 3 pounds of warehouse dust and one supervisor badge that felt like a brick in my pocket. All I wanted was a shower hot enough to melt my skin and maybe the last slice of pepperoni I was pretending still existed. The living room lights were on. Laughter floated out the front window, high, glossy, the soundtrack of a wine commercial. I didn't knock. It was my house. I turned the key, pushed the door open, and stepped into the kind of silence that only happens right before a punchline. And then my wife delivered it. "Honestly," she said, voice bright and expert, "I don't think this marriage will last another year." 3 people laughed. One of them was my wife. It was very funny, apparently. I stood in the hall where the laminate squeaks if you breathe too hard. I didn't make a sound. The wine choir on the couch was mid-giggle. I didn't catch the rest of the sentence. Something about me falling below her level. Below what level? The couch? The rug? Gravity? I stepped into the doorway. The giggles tripped and fell off a cliff. "Hey," I said, "interesting topic." My wife blinked like a car's high beams just hit her. The 3 friends tried to look like houseplants. One of them, Catherine, short black dress, expensive smirk, tilted her head with the confidence of a person who keeps a complaint template on her phone. My wife started damage control. "It was a joke?" "Jokes are usually funny," I said. "Can we talk in private?" my wife asked, voice tight. "I mean, you started public, but sure. Here's my version in public. Why wait a year?" Catherine's smirk blinked. The other 2 found sudden interest in their glasses. My tone surprised me. Calm, not cold, refrigerated, like I had been cooling down for months and didn't notice. I walked upstairs. The laughs didn't follow. In the bedroom, I pulled a duffel from the closet. Socks, shirts, the good boots that make me look like I know what I'm doing even when I don't. Toothbrush, charger, 1 picture frame turned face down because I didn't need more commentary tonight. My wife came to the doorway, hands up like she was directing traffic out of a disaster. "Don't be dramatic." "I'm trying very hard not to be anything," I said, zipping the bag. "And I'm doing great at it." "You're just tired." "You worked a double." "Yep." I slung the bag onto my shoulder. "And I'm done working the triple where I pretend things are fine." "Can we please talk after they leave?" "They already heard the important part." I stepped past her. "I'll be back for other stuff later." "Or not. Depends how much I miss my socks." Downstairs, the living room air had that fake sweet smell of spilled wine and real panic. Catherine gave me a look like she was grading me. I didn't sign up for her class. At the door, I paused. "Ladies, enjoy the night? Try not to bet on next year I left." The truck started on the second try because it believes in second chances. The nearest motel blinked at me from the highway like a cheap miracle. I parked under a light, checked in with a guy who looked allergic to paperwork, and got a key that probably opened at least 3 doors if I tried hard enough. Room 112 smelled like someone sprayed Ocean Breeze on a wet towel. The bed squeaked when I thought about sitting on it. I sat anyway. My phone buzzed. Then again. Then again. "Wife, we need to talk. Please don't do this. I'm sorry. Are you at a motel? Please just answer me. This is childish. I didn't mean it like that." I put the phone face down like it had said something rude. The ceiling had a water stain shaped like the state of regret. I stared at it until it looked like a map to anywhere else. 10 minutes later, a new message, different number. "Catherine, you okay?" I blinked, stared, laughed out loud once. It sounded like a cough that gave up. "You don't deserve that. If you need someone to talk to, I'm awake." Of course she was awake. People with professional smirks don't sleep. They recharge near outlets. Me, I'm fine. "Catherine, you're not. But that's okay. She's been cruel to you for a long time. Someone had to say it. I typed, deleted, typed, deleted. Finally, someone did say it, repeatedly, tonight. Catherine, I meant someone had to say it to her." I put the phone down again. The air conditioner made a noise like a small plane learning about gravity. I stood, ran the shower, and waited for the water to pick a temperature and commit to it. I thought about pizza, then about the look on my wife's face, then about the way Catherine's eyes didn't show surprise, only calculation, like she came to the house rehearsed, like she packed extra laughs in her purse. The shower stayed lukewarm and judgmental. I washed quick, put on the t-shirt I keep for emergencies and laundry day, and flopped back on the bed. My phone buzzed once more. Wife, please, tell me where you are. I didn't answer. I wasn't ready to be found by a person who just lost me in front of an audience. I turned off every light but the bathrooms. The room got quiet, the heavy kind that lands on your chest. I almost fell asleep. Then came the knock. 3 taps, casual, like a neighbor who needs to borrow sugar at midnight because cake is urgent. I didn't move. The knock came again, friendlier. I got up, crossed the carpet that tried to grab my socks, and looked through the peephole. Catherine. Of course. She stood under the flickering hallway light, rain dots on her coat, eyes bright like the kind of bright that isn't about happiness. She had the same expensive smirk, but now it looked like it had a plan. I opened the door a crack. Wrong room. The karaoke bar is 3 blocks down. She smiled. I don't sing for free. Not what the living room suggested? Can I come in? She asked, like she already had. It's raining. You look wrecked. I'm fine. You keep saying that like it'll become true. It won't. She leaned in, lowered her voice. I brought coffee. She held up a cardboard tray with 2 cups. The bribe smelled like actual coffee, not motel sadness. I might be stubborn, but I'm not a hero. I opened the door. 5 minutes, I said, stepping back. If you bring a chorus line, I charge admission. She walked in like she owned the place. She set the cups on the little round table whose only job is to wobble. Black for you, she said. Cream, no sugar for me. I'm sweet enough, I stared. You actually said that out loud. I workshop my lines, she said, laughing, and sank onto the chair. You look like you threw hands with a forklift. I supervise forklifts, I said. They respect me. Shame your wife doesn't. I felt the coffee in my hand stage a small protest. We are not doing this. We already did it, she said, calm. She humiliated you. In front of me. In front of everyone. In front of your applause. Catherine's jaw flexed. I laughed because it was ridiculous. Not because it was true. That sentence has never meant what the speaker thinks it means. She crossed one leg over the other, rain still glittering on her coat sleeve. You want the kind version or the honest version? Try the short version. She doesn't deserve you. But you deserve a person who actually sees you. That person is apparently you? She smiled small and sharp. I see you very clearly. I put the cup down. The table wobbled like it was nervous for me. You came to my motel room. Yes. At midnight. Technically 12:14, she said, checking her phone. She leaned forward, elbows on knees. You did the right thing walking out. Did I? Yes. She didn't blink. You finally drew a line. I drew a line and then tripped over it on my way to a bed that squeaks when I breathe. That's called progress, she said. Messy, but necessary. Are you a life coach now? I'm whatever you need me to be for the next 5 minutes. She smiled again, slower. Or longer. Okay, I said, holding up a hand. Let's not decorate the sentence. Fine, she said, exaggerated sigh. Here's the part where you argue with me and we pretend this is about ethics. Or, hear me out, you accept the obvious. She has been cutting you down for months. Tonight was just the loud version I didn't disagree. That was the problem. She's not a villain, I said finally. She's just lost. And you think you're supposed to be her GPS? No thanks, Catherine shook her head. You need someone who doesn't treat you like a project. You need someone who thinks you're already enough. I glanced at the peephole. Empty hallway, humming light. back at Catherine. Did you tell her where I am? Do I look suicidal? She sipped her coffee. She texted me about you 5 times. I told her to leave you alone because you needed space. That almost sounds considerate. I can do considerate, she said. I can also do honest. Do you want honest? Honest is usually code for rude. Proceed. Okay. She sat back, eyes running over me in a way that felt like a scan. You're a good man. Solid. The kind who shows up and doesn't ask for a parade. She doesn't get that because parades are the only thing she understands. That was rude, I said, but not inaccurate. Catherine smiled with her eyes this time, not just the mouth. See? Honesty is fun. I stared at the cheap art on the wall. It was a painting of a boat that didn't want to be there. We had something in common. Why are you really here? I asked. Because I like you, she said. No glitter now, just flat truth that rang like a small bell. And be scared of watching you get hurt and calling it love. I let that hang in the quiet. My heart did the thing where it asks for a manager. Say I believe you, I said. What then? Then we sit, she said, and we talk, and you let someone tell you that leaving was okay. That your pain isn't embarrassing, that choosing yourself isn't selfish. And then? She shrugged one shoulder. We see where the night goes. Catherine, I said, voice low, you're my wife's friend. She made a face. Friend is a strong word. I'm more like a person who knows her schedule. That's reassuring. She's not here, Catherine said. You are. You can sit in this room alone and pretend it helps, or you can let someone be on your side for a change. I reached for my phone on the nightstand, not to call my wife, not to text. I opened the voice memos and tapped record with my thumb. The screen went dark in my palm. Insurance, or maybe just a reminder for future me that tonight actually happened. Catherine didn't notice. Or she noticed and didn't care. You know what I used to think? She said, swirling her cup like it was whiskey, and this was a movie. I used to think you were the quiet type because you had nothing to say. Turns out you're quiet because you're trying not to explode. I don't explode, I said. I leak sarcasm. That's a sexy hazard, she said. OSHA would approve. I snorted. Please don't make me think about OSHA in a motel. Fine. Think about this instead, she said, leaning in, voice soft. You don't have to go back. The sentence landed. It had weight. It also had teeth. I haven't decided anything, I said. You decided when you picked up the bag, she said. Tonight was just the part where your feet caught up. We sat in the hum of the air conditioner and the hallway light. Rain ticked the window. I realized I was breathing like I'd run somewhere. Maybe I had. Tell me something true, Catherine said. Like what? Like the first time you knew the marriage was slipping. I closed my eyes. The answer was rude and accurate. When I started checking her mood before I checked my keys. Catherine nodded like she'd been waiting to hear that exact line. That's not love. That's weather. And you? I asked. Tell me something true back. She looked at her hands. I don't like being second. I opened my eyes. Then why are you here? Because you shouldn't be either, she said. And because I wanted to be first for once. There it was again. The bell ring of a truth that doesn't care if you're ready. I stood and moved to the window, peeling the curtain with 2 fingers, like the fabric might complain. The parking lot glistened. My truck sat under the light like a dog waiting for a whistle. You're thinking a lot, Catherine said behind me. It's my worst habit, I said. Well, after staying too long in places that hurt. I turned back. Catherine had stood up too. We faced each other over the wobble table and the coffee cups and the stupid painting of a boat that wanted better. She stepped closer, slow, like we were testing gravity. Tell me to leave, she said, and I will. I opened my mouth. The phone buzzed in my pocket. Not a text, a call. The screen flashed the name I hadn't expected. Vanessa, another friend. The quiet one. The one who didn't laugh as hard tonight. I stared at Catherine. She stared at the phone. For a second, not even the air conditioner breathed. "Answer it," Catherine said, tone unreadable. I did. "Hey!" Vanessa's voice rushed out, small and urgent. "I'm sorry to call. It's late. I know where you are. I swear I'm not there. But I need to tell you something about tonight. About Catherine." I looked at Catherine. She smiled like a cat under a heat lamp. "Go on," I said. Vanessa took a breath that sounded like tearing paper. "She set you up." Catherine's smile didn't move. Only her eyes did. They asked if I was enjoying the show. "Tell me everything," I said, and pressed speaker. Vanessa spoke fast, words tumbling, fear rushing them forward. "She's been pushing your wife for weeks, telling her to test you, to say things that would make you leave. She's trying to—" The phone rustled. "She's trying to make room." For herself, Catherine finally blinked. "She's dramatic," Catherine said, to me, to the room, to the cheap boat painting. "This is beneath you, and honestly, it's beneath me." "Keep talking," I told Vanessa, eyes on Catherine. "I have screenshots," Vanessa said. "Messages. Voice notes. I'll send them now. I didn't know she'd actually go to your motel. I thought she'd just— I'm sorry." A long text thread binged into my phone like a fire alarm. Images, audio, timestamps, names. I ended the call gently. "Thanks, Vanessa." Catherine lifted her chin. "Are you proud of this? You needed backup to feel strong." "I needed clarity," I said. "Strong comes later." She exhaled through her nose, grabbed her coffee, and looked at the door like it owed her money. This got boring. "You came here to convince me I was doing the right thing," I said. "Good news, I am. It just doesn't end the way you planned." "Oh?" She arched a brow. "And how does it end?" I clicked the side button on my phone. The red recording bar glowed like a tiny stoplight. "With honesty," Catherine's smirk tried to hold. It didn't. "You two deserve each other." "Maybe," I said. "But that's kind of the point." She moved to the door, paused with her hand on the knob, and looked back. "She'll ruin you anyway." "It's what she does. She had help," I said. "I'm subtracting her helper." The door clicked shut behind her. The hallway light hummed. The room exhaled. I stood still for a long time, the way you do after a wave hits and you're surprised you remained upright. Then I sat, opened Vanessa's messages, and listened to a voice that wasn't laughing tell me the whole ugly plan. At the end of the last clip, I didn't feel triumph. I didn't feel rage. I felt tired in a way sleep couldn't fix. But under the tired, under the noise, there it was, a small, clean line. Not bitter, not sweet, clarity. I set an alarm for 6 a.m., finished the coffee that had gone lukewarm and honest, and turned off the bathroom light. Tomorrow I'd go home. Not to stay, not to fight, to tell the truth with both of us in the room. And if we were lucky, that truth wouldn't break us. It might even be the first thing that could save us. The alarm stabbed me at 6 a.m. I showered in what felt like legally warm water, dressed, and drove home with Vanessa's screenshots screaming in my head. "Make him leave first. He'll look like the bad guy. I'll be there for him." My wife opened the door before I knocked. Hoodie, puffy eyes, hair in a bun that lost the war. She looked like grief on 2x speed. "You came back," she whispered. "For coffee and truth," I said. "Got either?" "In the kitchen," she swallowed. "And an apology." That's decaf truth. "I'll try the real stuff." We sat. I put my phone on the table and hit play. Vanessa's voice filled the room. "Catherine's been manipulating everything. She told your wife to push you until you snapped, to make you look like the problem. Then she planned to step in once you were gone." My wife held the counter like the earth tilted. "There's more," I said. I played Catherine's old voice note. Just say he's beneath your level, babe. Men like him hate that. He'll walk. Then he's the villain, you're the phoenix. I rolled my eyes so hard I saw last week. My wife flinched like the words punched. I thought, she started, then stopped. I thought it would make you notice me. I noticed you, I said. I just didn't enjoy the fire show. You're right, she said. No fight in it, only raw. Catherine said good men need friction. Cars need friction, I said. Good men need respect. She sat across from me like the chair caught her. I'm sorry. I believe you, I said. And you should know, Catherine came to my motel. Midnight. Coffee. Her mouth fell open. What? I played the short clip. Catherine's voice purring like a humidifier for bad decisions. You don't have to go back. You deserve someone who sees you. I see you very clearly. My wife stared at the phone, then at me. I invited the wolf. Seemed like it. I'm done being stupid, she said, wiping her face like tears were late to a meeting. Define done. Done listening to people who want my life. Done testing you. Done doing bravery for the wrong audience. Good. We're missing one item. What? We handle Catherine together, she held my eyes. Okay, and after? Therapy, not theater. Repair deal, I said. She almost smiled. Call her. We put Catherine on speaker. She answered like she'd just won breakfast. Hey, hero. Cafe on 3rd, 1 hour, my wife said. Just you? Is this a trap? Catherine asked. Yes, my wife said. A polite one. Catherine laughed. God, you're cute when you try. Fine. Wear something that says I'm reasonable. We'll wear clothes, my wife said, and hung up. That, I said, was wildly satisfying. I'm terrified, she whispered. Me too. Let's be terrified together. The cafe smelled like expensive coffee and decisions. We took the corner table. I dimmed my phone and armed the recorder. Catherine arrived on time. Villains respect calendars. Sunglasses, glossy hair, trench coat that screamed, condo tour. She slid into the chair opposite us like a guest judge. The council convenes, she said. Coffee? My wife asked. I brought my own, Catherine said, putting down a steel tumbler. For safety. From what? Ethics? I asked. She spared me a glance. Still doing sarcasm? Cute. Agenda. Are we pretending last night was a misunderstanding? I'm flexible. No pretending, my wife said. Calm. Scary calm. Great. Catherine leaned back. Then I'll say it. He left because you made him. He's better off without you. You can ship my finder's fee to... Stop, my wife said, not loud, just sharp. You went to his motel. After telling me for weeks to push him until he walked. Then you tried to replace me before my pillow cooled. Catherine smiled like she was teaching a toddler about gravity. You're emotional. Understandable. We have recordings, my wife said. Would you like to hear yourself or guess the lines? Catherine's face went still for a second. Then she laughed. Vanessa, the moral squirrel, she's a witness, I said. You recorded me? In a motel? Catherine finally looked offended. Tacky. One-party consent state, I said. Fun feature. She exhaled, sugar gone. Okay. What's the plan? Play a clip? Cry? Hug? Post it? The internet will forget you by lunch. We're not posting, my wife said. We're setting a boundary. Catherine smirked. The irony is choking me. The irony, my wife said, leaning in, is that I thought you were on my side. I was. I am, Catherine said. You wanted a stronger marriage. I removed the weak piece my wife didn't snap. She nodded, soft and dangerous. Say it slower. So I remember who you are when I think I miss you. Catherine obliged, each word a nail. I removed the weak piece. Right, my wife said. And next you'd remove me. For a husband with a better truck, I like winners, Catherine said. I tapped my screen. The tiny clip from last night filled the cafe. You don't have to go back. You deserve someone who sees you. I see you very clearly. Two baristas froze mid-espresso. A man by the window tilted his hearing aid up like we were his new favorite show. This is pathetic, Catherine said. No, I said. It's housekeeping. My wife turned to me, then back to Catherine. We're done. With me? Catherine asked, unsurprised. With this, my wife said, slicing the air. With making our marriage perform for your entertainment. With letting you treat me like a project and him like a lever. You'll be in my DMs by Friday, Catherine said. No, my wife said. By Friday I'll be in therapy. If I text you, it'll be 2 words. Miss you? Catherine mocked. Cease contact, my wife said. One barista clapped once, then hid. Catherine stood, put on her sunglasses like a shield, and delivered her closer. You two deserve each other. We know, I said. That's why we're here. She left. The cafe exhaled. The old man lowered his hearing aid like he'd finished a good episode. I tipped $5 for the ambiance. Outside, my wife stared at the door, then at me. I feel like I took off a backpack I didn't know I was wearing. Surprise, I said. It was full of Catherine. She laughed. Not pretty. Better. 2 stops on the way home. Peace bagels and a counseling office. The receptionist had, I have seen everything eyes. Soonest slot? I asked. Tomorrow at 3, she said. We'll take it, my wife said. Back home, we cleaned like humans who remembered how. Vanessa texted, did it happen? You okay? Me, we're okay. Wife, grabbing my phone. Thank you for telling the truth. Coffee on me soon. No wine, no Catherine. Vanessa, proud of you both. Muting Catherine. Stay strong. We owe her flowers, my wife said. Or a fruit basket that says, thanks for not letting my friend steal my husband. Subtle. She grinned. We blocked Catherine together. Ceremonial, ridiculous, perfect. It felt like locking a door we should have noticed months ago. At dinner, we actually ate at the table without a TV referee. After, I carried out the trash bag of last night's wine debris. She brought a second bag. We set both bags on the curb. The evening was that soft blue that forgives without a speech. At the door, she touched my sleeve. Can I say something dumb? I'm fluent. If you wanted to, you know, with her you could have. True. And you didn't. Also true. Why? I don't want to be right alone, I said. I want to be right with you. She looked up. Porch light hummed. Somewhere a neighbor's dog filed a complaint against a squirrel. Okay, she said. Then let's play as a team. We went to bed early like absolute lunatics. No grand speeches, just breathing in the same room. Before sleep, I thought about Catherine's favorite line. You two deserve each other. Good, we plan to. 3 days after the cafe showdown, life finally started acting like a normal sitcom again. Dishes, coffee, sarcastic good mornings. No more messages from Catherine. No mysterious, accidental calls. Just the sound of my wife humming while burning toast, which, honestly, was progress. Until Wednesday. I was at work, convincing a forklift not to kill anyone, when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I shouldn't have answered. Hey, stranger, came Catherine's voice, the kind of smooth that hides razor blades. I was hoping we could talk like adults. Adults usually don't need fake numbers, I said. Also, they don't try to seduce married men in motels. She laughed. You make that sound so dramatic. You didn't seem traumatized when I brought coffee. I was processing caffeine and trauma simultaneously. Cute, she said. Anyway, tell your wife to unblock me. There's something she should know before I post it. Post what? Screenshots, she said sweetly. Taken out of context, of course. You and me, the motel, a few creative captions. Nothing explicit, but people love stories. Catherine, I said, you're addicted to drama. Drama gets engagement, she said, and you two got boring. I hung up. Then I called my wife. Guess who wants her 15 minutes again? Oh God, she said. What did she do now? Threatened to go viral. Silence. Then quietly, I'll handle it. No, I said. We'll handle it. We met that evening at Grindstone Cafe again. Same corner table, same wobbly chair. Vanessa joined us this time, by request. She came armed with calm energy and a tote bag that probably held receipts, holy water, or both. Catherine entered like she'd been invited to a red carpet roast. Wow, she said. You brought backup. Is this an intervention or a podcast? Neither, my wife said. It's a recording session. Catherine laughed. Still recording? You people really don't trust anyone. Trust is earned, I said. You spent yours. She rolled her eyes. Relax. I'm not posting anything yet. Depends how nice you are. Vanessa opened her tote, pulled out a small envelope, and slid it across the table. This is a copy of the cease and desist drafted by my cousin, who's an actual lawyer. If you publish or spread anything about either of them, audio, screenshots, smoke signals, you'll meet her faster than you can spell libel. Catherine blinked. You're joking. Do I look like I joke? Vanessa said calmly. I sipped my coffee. She doesn't. I've checked. My wife leaned in. Catherine, I don't hate you. I pity you. You don't want me or him. You want the chaos. And for once, I'm not feeding it. Catherine's smirk wobbled. You think you've grown? Please, you'll be back to pretending by next month. Maybe, my wife said, but if we fall again, it won't be because you pushed us. Catherine stood. You're all insane. Vanessa raised her cup. Cheers to mental health. Catherine hissed something under her breath, turned, and stormed out. This time, for good. The bell above the door rang like a period at the end of a messy paragraph. On the drive home, the tension in the car finally dissolved. I can't believe she threatened to post fake screenshots, my wife said. She underestimated our lawyer-themed tote bag, I said. My wife laughed, the kind that sounded like breathing again. I feel stupid, she said softly. You feel human, I said. It's worse sometimes, she smiled. And you? How do you feel? Like a man who survived a soap opera and didn't even need to take his shirt off. Shame, she said. You'd have gotten more views. Weeks passed. Therapy every Tuesday, coffee every morning, less drama every day. We were still clumsy, still learning, but at least we were learning together. Then one night, sitting on the porch with 2 beers and 0 plans, she said, Do you realize we haven't mentioned her name in over a week? I grinned. You just broke the streak. Worth it, she said, smiling, because now she's officially past tense. Past tense? I asked. She nodded. Like, we were friends. She tried. We moved on. I raised my bottle. To grammar. To boundaries, she said, clinking. Silence settled, but the good kind. The porch light hummed. Crickets did their night shift. We weren't perfect, not even close, but for the first time in a long while, neither of us was playing a role. Just 2 people, choosing not to break again. I looked at her and said, You know, Catherine was right about one thing. She groaned. Please don't start a sentence like that. She said we deserve each other. She raised an eyebrow. And you agree? Yeah, I said, because somehow we're the only 2 idiots who still think this marriage is worth the work. She leaned her head on my shoulder. Idiots have good taste. Obviously, I said. One of us married me. She laughed, full, free, and real. And just like that, the story that almost fell apart finally found its ending. 6 months later, Catherine was just a funny story we told new friends. The wine witch who almost turned our marriage into a reality show. Vanessa became a godmother to our coffee habit. We still argued sometimes, but it sounded more like jazz now. Messy, honest, and ending on the same note. Sometimes my wife looks at me over breakfast and says, Still glad you didn't open that motel door wider? And I say, still glad you learned who not to drink wine with. Then we laugh, pour more coffee, and start another normal, beautiful, drama-free day. The kind Catherine would absolutely hate. If you felt this story hit hard, drop a like, subscribe for more, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support keeps Steelheart beating.